Well, what do we have here? Was not expecting this today, but I'm glad. And I was actually thinking about this just last week. I was thinking, man, I bet we're gonna get some Pixel 8 series leaks probably in the next month or two, because it's been about 6 months, and last year Google leaked their own Pixel 7 series and kind of was showing us what it was going to look like before they officially launched it. Well, look what we got today. Pixel 8 Pro pictures. So now we know what it's going to look like. Now, I'm going to show you on here on my Pixel, but I am going to also link in the description of this video where you can check out the link and look at an official leak for yourself. Let me see if this will come through. Let me get the let me turn the screen all the way up. Let's see. That's what it's going to look like. This is the Pixel 8 Pro. Look at the back design. You see how that camera is, and they got the sensor and then the flashlight up there. You see how that's just basically one bar, and you see how that is. So it's the same basic design with a little something different. This new Pixel 8 Pro is a little more rectangular, a little more curved around the edges. This phone is a little more squared. So it's just going to have a tiny bit different design language. Basically going to be the same. As you can tell, again, the one big little cutout for the camera sensors. It looks still has 3 cameras in there, and this is kind of in the shape of an eye, right? A lowercase I. Now, from everything I wanted to show you before I started driving, but my initial thoughts, and I read some of the article in there, and I'll put everything in the description. Now, if you're a Pixel lover like myself, the Pixel 7 Pro, and I'll say it again, is, in my opinion, the very best Android phone. Now, yes, the Samsung does offer some good features, and if you do not have to have an S Pen, meaning on the S23 Ultra, I would get a Pixel. It has flagship specs. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro is basically going to have the same size display. It's going to have the same resolution. Everything should be about the same. Now, it's going to have 12 gigs of RAM like the 7 series, and it will have the new Tensor G3 processor, which should just be based on this with, a little faster specs and stuff like that. Camera sensors, I believe, are going to be the same, which is fine because for the first few years of Pixel, they used that same 12 megapixel camera sensor for 4 or 5 years. They perfected it. And actually, the camera sensor on the Pixel 7 will be the same one on the Pixel 8. However, it'll just be refined. So you're not going to get a huge camera upgrade, which is totally fine. It's going to have the same hole punch cutout in the center for the front-facing camera. But I'm very interested to see. Now, I wasn't surprised to see the design language stay the same. It's not like iPhone, where iPhone really keeps it the same every year for like 3 or 4 years. I mean, they just make minor changes. The Pixel 7 to Pixel 8 is basically the same, but if you're saying, well, it looks the same, well, yeah, I mean, the Pixel 7 is a phenomenal device. It's their highest selling device ever in Google's history. The Pixel 7 series broke records for Google. It's very minuscule when compared to iPhone or Samsung, because they sell millions upon millions of devices. And we're talking like 44 million like iPhones, or 47 million iPhones was sold last year. So if you're Google, why change something that is so good? again, I think it's no phone is perfect. There's always going to be something that is maybe something you might not like, or maybe something that just didn't hit right. But the 7 Pro is basically about as good as you're going to get. So if you're Google moving on to the Pixel 8, why change anything? Now, I know you don't want to put the same exact phone out. Now, they basically are with very minor changes. The edges are a little more rounded. And the camera sensors on the back have one cutout instead of the lowercase I shape. So I understand they didn't want to veer too far off of their best-selling device, and that really wouldn't make much sense, right? If they just came out with something that looked totally different from the Pixel 7. So I'm just really excited to see it finally. It's kind of ironic because, like I said, I was thinking about the leaks where I was thinking it'd be another month or two, but little did I know it was just going to be a few days. So really excited to see that. Now, are you going to upgrade if you have the Pixel 7? Speaking of, that was the Pro. So I guarantee you the Pixel 8, that was the 8 Pro that I showed you. It has an extra camera. The 7 Pro has an extra camera that the 7 doesn't. Now, the Pixel 7 has the same design language that the 8 Pro does. It just has one cutout instead of the 7 Pro, which has a cutout and then another circle. So the 7 is kind of, I bet they're not going to change the 7 much. I bet it's still going to have that just same one cutout, just minus the camera. So it'll just be a little shorter cutout. But I bet obviously it'll be a little more rounded around the corners. So I bet the 7 look pretty darn close to the 8. Now, here's something that I was reading about a month ago. Google is going to change the way they package their smaller device. So, and I think it's going to start on the 8 or the 9. They are going to put flagship specs in the base model, meaning they're going to put 12 gigs of RAM in the smaller phone. They're going to put a 2K display in the smaller phone. And my wife, whenever they do that, whether it's this year or for the 8 or next year for the 9, my wife's definitely going to get that because she likes a little smaller phone. Of course, women typically have smaller hands, but that's one thing I'm interested to find out. And as soon as I do, I'll obviously let y'all know and make a video about, because yes, they are planning, and it is basically guaranteed, because Google leaks, they write the code. Obviously, Google makes Android. They write the code for Android, for base Android, for all these other companies to kind of take and then modify it and put their skin on it, like Samsung does. So a few months ago, Google, one of the developers either leaked the code or it leaked somehow, but they've already written in the code for Android 14 to include the names of their pixels would always leak early, because they always name them after fish, like Shamu, Mako as in a shark, Marlin, I think was the 7 Pro. So they've already leaked the 8 and even the 9 series names, and they had the code in there you have to write for certain specs for the devices. And the smaller Pixel is going to have flagship specs. So they're going to do like Apple does. Think of Apple. They have a iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, and then they have which is the smaller one, and then they have the iPhone, or 14, sorry. So they got the 14 Pro, and then they got the 14 Plus, which is bigger, and then the 14 Pro Max. Now, Google is going to do the same, but they're not going to make a big one with cheaper specs. So basically, what their outline is for the future is make let's just say for this upcoming 8 series, they're going to do a Pixel 8, and then like a Pixel 8 Pro, which would kind of interfere with that name. I don't know how they're going to name it, but check this out. They're going to do a Pixel 8 with I think, basic features, meaning like 8 gigs of RAM, 1080p plus screen, and then they're going to do a Pixel 8 with the flagship specs, with 12 gigs of RAM, with a 2K screen, basically all the Pro features that are on the bigger one. They're going to make a smaller version with the Pro features, and then they're also going to make their Pro version, which is the big model that has all the specs on it. So more options are coming. I know a couple of people that want a small phone with flagship specs, but very excited. I'm going to post a link in the video for this, so y'all can check out the device by yourself. And I'm interested to see if y'all are going to upgrade, because the way things are, the only way, it looks so close. I'm so happy with my 7 Pro. I don't want to get rid of it. The only way I am going to upgrade to the 8 Pro is if they have phenomenal trade-in options, meaning like if I trade my Pixel 7 Pro in and then upgrade to the 8 Pro, you know, I'll only have to pay like $200 extra or whatever, meaning if they give me a lot of trade-in value for my 7 Pro, then I'll upgrade. But if it's like over $250 to upgrade, meaning like if it's trading in my phone plus $300, not sure I will do that. But if it's probably around $200, I'll definitely upgrade. I upgrade every year, so. But I was hoping this one, I love this phone so much, this Pixel 7 Pro, I don't want to get rid of it. And it's going to look so similar to the 8 Pro that the software is going to be the same. I mean, it'll be, you know, you have to buy new cases because it's going to be a little different, a little more rounded. But we'll see. We'll just see how over time. We got, 6 more months left, so it is coming up soon. But I will keep y'all posted on the news of the Pixels and with everything else that comes out as well. So I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll check y'all next time. Peace.